Please welcome back to the stage CHPC Executive Director Howard Slatkin.
Thank you, everyone, for pulling out your phones when we asked you to. There is no project in affordable housing more monumental in scale and significance than the revitalization of New York City's public housing. It requires massive investment of resources as well as innovative thinking. And it requires every solution we have available. NYCHA's Comp Mod program, the new Public Housing Preservation Trust, and the PACT program. It is for the accomplishments of PACT that we will be honoring our final awardee today, Jonathan Gouveia, in just a few minutes. One way to describe the impact of PACT is by quantifying the massive scale of investment to address capital needs and enhanced property management. In just a few minutes, you will hear large numbers describing this. They are extraordinary and impressive. Another way to look at the results is to see firsthand the improvements to the buildings and grounds, because the ultimate clients of PACT are NYCHA residents. You can't measure success without describing the benefits that these investments have for the lives of NYCHA residents. Under Jonathan's leadership, NYCHA Real Estate has pioneered new practices in resident partnership, recognizing that residents' insight and commitment to their communities is an indispensable asset. Residents have official roles in the selection of PACT development teams, in pre-development planning, and in scope development. Legal documents will include resident priorities to bake them into deals. And I'd like to call your attention to a recently conducted survey that NYCHA Real Estate has shared with us on about 4 PACT sites to understand how residents feel about the improvements made to their campuses. They've shared some of the results of the survey with us to share with you. Of the 691 residents surveyed, more than 3/4 said that they were very satisfied with the renovations made to their buildings. More than 3/4 say that the buildings and grounds are cleaner post-renovation. More than 2/3 say that they're more likely to have a friend or a family member over to visit. And this is something that really highlights the difference between having a roof over your head and having a home. And finally, 2/3 of them said that they feel more stable in their living situation in terms of staying a long time in their apartment versus having to move in the future. That last figure speaks to one of the important leaps in PACT, which is ensuring that conversion to Section 8 actually improves rather than undermines residents' stability and sense of security. Resident partnership is a critical element to help address these concerns. NYCHA also interviewed resident leaders who have gone through PACT so that their experience can be shared with the next round of resident leaders entering the program. This is what some of those resident leaders had to say about how powerful successful resident partnership can be.
Now, about the PACT program, I was kind of nervous.
I talked to someone that went through the process, and she was happy with the change.
You know, they walked us through, and it was a beautiful experience.
We had a great team. They explained everything from day one.
The results paid off.
We've always been able to state our concerns, get our questions answered.
Come and see and look at the apartments and see what's going to happen. We can live better here and a better quality of life.
Our voices are heard, and our experiences are taken into consideration.
And I'm happy and I'm ready for the change.
With each round of PACT, there have been new innovations in resident partnership. We can't wait to see what comes next. But now it's time to present the Impact for Planning Award to Jonathan Gouveia. And to do this, please welcome to the stage Vice Chairman of Merchants Capital, Mathew Wambua.
It is a pleasure to see everybody, and I appreciate the walkout music. So I have the privilege of introducing Jonathan Gouveia, who I've known for 2 decades, which is hard to believe, given his flawless wrinkle-free skin. He has such good genes. In the time that we've been friends, the jobs that Jonathan has chosen are all bound by a single unifying factor. Jonathan only takes on jobs which most folks assume are insurmountable tasks, tasks which can only be successfully mastered to the extent that you're willing to blow up existing paradigms. Every time Jonathan has explained his new gig to me over the many years that we've known each other, I always have the exact same reaction, which is to knowingly smile and to cynically say, all right, good luck with that, Gouveia. And every single time he's proven me wrong, because Jonathan has a set of qualities which are perfectly suited to taking on insurmountable obstacles. To start with, Jonathan constantly looks for challenges which lie somewhere at the intersection of impossibility, opportunity, and public service. Secondly, once he identifies his challenge, he commits to fully engaging all stakeholders with respect, with openness, but always with that challenge to explode existing paradigms, and always with a resolute stubbornness that demands new solutions from himself, from his collaborators. Thirdly, like all the best public servants, Gouveia is willing to do his job without fear of being fired. He speaks his truth in service to doing the right thing, the smart thing, and when necessary in contradiction to precedent and convention. And lastly, Jonathan is a great negotiator, to the extent that he has mastered the skill of sitting across the table, staring unblinkingly, piercingly into somebody's eyes, and comfortably leaning into long, agonizing, awkward silences. And anybody, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody that knows Jonathan knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's really good at weaponizing those silent pauses. At any rate, what Gouveia has been able to achieve over 5 years is incredible. The numbers are staggering. 20,000 units closed, $5 billion invested. As Slatkin points out, the 20,000 units preserved to date, just by themselves, would constitute the 4th largest public housing authority in the nation. Jonathan, thank you for always being willing to prove us wrong.
Thanks, everybody, for coming here today. Thank you, Matt, for the very kind introduction. Thank you for being a friend and mentor for, as you noted, the past 20 years and commenting on my skin. I've been very fortunate enough to work with you and learn from you on a number of very complicated projects over the years. It therefore gives me great confidence to have you and your team so heavily involved in the PACT program. I know that when we have complicated issues that come up on our projects, we can count on you for your creativity and your leadership to get us through. So thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Howard Slatkin, Sarah Watson, the staff at CHPC, and Richard Roberts and the CHPC board for both selecting me for the Impact for Planning Award and for your strong and consistent support of PACT. You've been excellent partners that have helped us shape a fantastic and ever-evolving program of resident engagement and decision-making. It's a great privilege to be the Executive Vice President of NYCHA's Real Estate Development Department at this moment in NYCHA's history. As Matt noted, throughout my career, I've had amazing opportunities to work on many city building projects that have been both challenging and interesting. But the chance to lead the real estate department and our partner teams on this critically important mission is by far the most rewarding and impactful role that I've had to date. The crisis we face at NYCHA means that we must obviously work to quickly address the poor living conditions that our residents face every day, and doing so is our primary objective. However, the real estate team is equally focused on creating opportunities for our residents. As we reinvest in, restore, and rebuild NYCHA developments, we are committed to creating safe and complete communities with abundant resources and amenities and access to economic opportunity. Given the breadth of our ambitions for PACT, we necessarily work with an incredibly expansive mix of partners. Therefore, in gratefully accepting this award, I also have many people to thank, without whom I would not have been able to achieve much in the last 5 years. So if you'll indulge me, I'll go through a long list of thank yous. To start, thank you to the NYCHA Real Estate Development team. Many of the members of the team are here today. I'd specifically like to thank Heather Beck, Marissa Schaefer, Jillian Connell, Jacqueline Sachs, Matt Charney, Simon Kowitsky, and Lamar Fenton for helping me lead our relatively small but mighty team. Thank you to our residents. We currently have 138 developments in the PACT program, representing almost 38,000 apartments across the city. We could not have achieved so much in a relatively short period of time without your trust in us and in the program. And I saw Mr. McNeil, who came all the way down from the Bronx today. Thank you for coming. And Ms. Gordon, who is sitting here, thank you for attending. Thank you. I don't know if there's other residents, but if you're here, thank you for joining us as well today. While the NYCHA real estate team leads PACT rehabilitation work, virtually every division and department at NYCHA is involved in ensuring successful PACT conversions. As such, thank you to the NYCHA executive team and to all of your respective teams for supporting our work. Thank you to our chair, Jamie Rubin, and CEO, Lisa Bova-Hyatt, for your trust in me and the real estate team, and for giving us the latitude to continually grow and evolve. Thank you to Deputy Mayor Maria Torres-Springer and to Layla Borzorg and your team at City Hall. I'd also like to thank Alicia Glenn, Carolee Fink, and Arden Sokolow, who I saw out there, for approaching me in the fall of 2018 about this role and for ultimately giving me the opportunity to lead the real estate department. Thank you, Vicki Bean, for your leadership, guidance, and trust in the years that we worked together. I'd also like to thank Jessica Katz, both as it relates to your former role as Executive Director of CHPC and as Chief Housing Officer. You played a critical role in shaping our approach to resident engagement, and as we've heard today, it's paying great dividends. I would also like to thank our government financial partners. Thank you to Eric Enderlin and the team at HDC for your commitment to PACT and financing so many of our projects. I'd like to thank the teams at OMB and HPD for providing city capital dollars to help get recent projects over the finish line during these challenging inflationary times. I'd also like to thank the HUD Recap Office, New York Field Office, and the Special Application Center for your commitment to NYCHA and to supporting PACT. Thank you to the many elected officials and community boards that we work with every day, and particularly thanks to Councilmember Botcher, who is here today and who is providing valuable leadership and respect, leadership with respect to the proposed Fulton and Elliott Chelsea redevelopment project. Finally, I would like to thank our partners, many of whom are in the room today. Whether you are a developer, general contractor, property manager, social service provider, debt or equity provider, lawyer, architect, a member of the PACT resource team, the Legal Aid Society, or one of the many, many other professionals or trades that contribute to the designing, constructing, financing, and operation of our sites, we simply could not deliver results for our residents without your partnership. And in closing, I want to congratulate the other honorees. It's an honor to share the stage with you. Joanne, Stanley, and Tricia, your accomplishments and contributions are significant and inspiring. Finally, congratulations to Don Kaposha and the BFC team. I look forward to closing our first PACT transaction with you in the coming months and can't wait to see the improvements you will deliver for the residents of West Brighton. Thank you, everybody.